Hey everybody, meteorologist Brad Petovich here. It is finally upon us. The pattern change we've been hoping for after a really blowtorch mild start to December. Things are flipping in the middle of this week going into the weekend. And once the cold air gets here, it looks like it's going to be locked in place to the end of the month. Now, before you get too excited about winter storms, I do think there'll be some natural snow. But don't get caught up in the winter storm setup. Look at more the fact that it's just going to be cold and snowmaking is going to be unbelievable. Yeah, some northwest flow events in there for sure, but the big event, not quite there yet. Let's talk about the pattern change because we've been seeing this coming for a while, just taking forever to get here. We've got cold air over most of North America now and up in the areas of Canada, the Arctic. Warm air is surged up into Alaska, and that's actually pretty favorable. You want to see the warm air go up there because it forces the cold air here, warm air going up towards Greenland. The concern initially is, does the cold air stay in the central and northern part of the country, or does it come to the southeast? I think there's still some hesitation whether the really, really cold stuff will get here, but it looks like we're going to at least have cold enough air to get back to more winter weather setup. And you could see, maybe briefly next week, there's a little bit of a zonal flow, but more cold air begins to dive south. And overall, the pattern is very favorable. I want to show you the temperature forecast because, yeah, we have a brief warm up this week ahead of this first system, but you can see it moving in Thursday into Friday. That's some really cold air. So this is a real good sign. This is going to be pinwheeling in cold air for all of the southeast. But I want you to watch what's happening up here in Western Canada. Once you see those lighter shades, colors showing up there, that's below zero weather. Look at diving into Western Canada. I'm going to play this out. So you can see that's some really cold air. Now, this is where we got to watch carefully. You know, everybody's been talking cold, cold, cold. But if this cold air stays out west, it could initialize a little bit of a ridge here. So we want this to shift east a little bit. I still think we'll see plenty, but that's a pattern to keep an eye on as we go into next week. So let's look at the storm systems. The first one this week is the pattern changer. There it is. Rain and some ice, West Virginia, Maryland. You're going to have some ice on Thursday. It'll transition pretty quickly to snow on the backside by Friday and Saturday. That's a pretty good northwest flow event, I think, especially for West Virginia. I still think we'll see some in North Carolina, but probably more of a West Virginia setup. And then you can see the next system early next week. This will be the one that really ushers in even colder air. That's a pretty good setup for northwest flow all of next week. And really, that's when the floodgates open up and you just see cold air after cold air mass moving in this direction. In fact, all the long range guidance for the 6 to 10, 8 to 14 day range, everything's below average temperatures for us. So really good news for snowmaking. So what about natural snow? Besides the northwest flow setup, I'm not convinced we're seeing some big massive storm that's going to come through the southeast. I'll push this all the way out 10 days in the future. And you can see, yeah, most of what you're seeing here is northwest flow behind each one of these frontal passages. So we don't have a big synoptic system yet, some low that's going to track this way. And this is next Thursday. So I'm not looking at a ton of snow right now, but you could see up in West Virginia, this looks like a pretty good event from Western Maryland down to Pocahontas County, down to Winter Place. And then in North Carolina, probably looking at more in the 1 to 3 inch range. So here's the 5-day forecast for the southeast. I'll throw it up there and you can see I do expect some ice or snow on Thursday up in Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland. Probably not the greatest setup there, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's all northwest flow. For North Carolina, that's northwest flow Friday, Saturday. And look at the blue. That means snowmaking, and not just at night, folks. It might mainly going to be snowmaking 24/7 starting Friday. So this upcoming weekend should be really, really good. But what I'm really excited for is next week, the week leading into Christmas weekend and the week after. There are real signs it's going to stay really cold through the end of the year. So that's good timing for the resorts because that's when a lot of people are off of work, they're on vacation. They can actually spend time skiing. So if we have great conditions setting up now, this lays the groundwork for an amazing holiday break, 2 weeks of maybe epic skiing and boarding in the southeast. As always, think snow, everybody. The cold is here. We got that. Let's get some natural snow on top of this cold air.